What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Kellz, and it's Through Thick and Thin, the podcast. I am feeling very limey, very citrusy today. It's the shirt. It's giving me energy. It's giving me this upbeat. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling like an artist. Like, I know y'all, I'm a comedian, but I'm talking about, like, I got a song in my spirit. It's kind of weird. I don't know why I feel like I can sing and rap today. Probably because our guest that we have today, man, listen, when I talk about game changer, life altering human being, but more importantly, just somebody who decided to step out on faith and do it hard body, from producing, entrepreneurship, directing, AP. I mean, anything you could think of in the music industry, this brother has touched and turned it to gold. And he's our guest today. Listen, I can't go no further without introducing the one and only Ian F. Burke. Y'all make some noise for the extraordinaire. Yes. When you came up with the piece.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm running for office. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, you are running for office. You are the office. I think when people see you, they like, you got my vote. And that's exactly how you did that. Thank you for coming through today. Looking very shiny, giving us Gangsta Gone Legit vibes.
Gangsta Gone Legit. Yeah, this is my man P's clothing line. I'm not a gangster, but I'm representing him today. This is his clothing line. His hats. He's got jackets, leather jackets. He's got the whole thing. He's got sweatsuits.
Oh, it's the product placement for me. Shout out to Gangsta Gone Legit. I'm not officially a real gangster,
right,
but I know some gangsters.
Exactly.
So I will wear that represent for the gangster. My husband used to be a gangster.
Okay, we'll
and then
see.
He got married and now he just
No, he settled.
Yeah, he went legit.
But he's a gangster gone legit.
He's a gangster gone legit. I'm getting that.
That's right. That's why he should, you know what I'm saying?
But listen, you know why you got that good energy and good vibe to just throw that on so effortlessly. And it as soon as you walked in the room, everybody's like, it was one of them starstruck moments. Right. We was happy to see you, but
what you wearing? What you got on?
Though, because you know what you do.
Right.
You take a product. Right. You're good at taking something. Right. And turn it into something different.
I try.
Is that what you do? Are we throwing it out there?
No, absolutely. That's what I do. I try to give it the recognition it needs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then let the audience decide. You know what I'm saying? That's all on there. And it was proof when I walked in the room. Y'all knew y'all were expecting me, but y'all weren't expecting what I had on. Then that caught your attention. That just goes to show. It's like, I still got it.
You still got that it thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that it thing, you decided you knew you had that it thing at 18?
Oh, nah, you know what? First of all, it was 19. I was 19 years old, but even then,
Come on, don't even give us
I'm trying to be truthful. Coming
from a dad, a musician,
right,
a musically inclined family. We probably being facetious, even saying 19. You probably knew it at a child,
I knew that I was different. I knew when I was coming up in Mount Vernon, New York, when I was growing up, right?
Money earning Mount
Vernon. Yeah. When I was growing up, I would listen when we play the music. I would look at the credits on the back of the album. We had albums back then, I say that a lot of people gonna be like, "What? You had what?"
Album.
We had a wax disc that we listened to music on,
and it was huge.
And it was huge.
So
exactly.
fun to take out the case. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then sit down and read the credits. Okay. You know what I'm saying, and see who wrote the songs, who produced it, the arrangements, what instruments were played on. I don't know why that fascinated me, and I think a piece of that was because my father was a musician. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So what did he do?
He played piano and guitar.
Oh, keys.
Yeah, and guitar.
My dad played the bass, so I don't have any music.
I don't either, but I try. Yeah, you do the air bass. We can do that all day. But that gene never caught. I did not have the patience to learn how to play music. You know what I'm saying?
And it wasn't for you to, because you had the patience to look on the back of an album,
right,
and read who arranged the music
and learn the behind the scenes. I wanted to know what was behind all of that.
The business,
right.
That's the business part. I just want to throw this out here. This has nothing to do with anything, but I lived in Mount Vernon for like 3 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
422 South 2nd Avenue. Yeah, like right around the corner.
So, like, do you know? Did you ever go to the ice cream factory? You ever hear the ice cream factory?
No.
That was right there on Columbus Avenue and Sanford Boulevard.
Oh yeah, but Sanford Boulevard was just a vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it probably still was there. Is it still
there? Yes. All these are 40, 50 years. Probably. Used to be a Carvel. That was a long time ago. Then it became the ice cream factory. That's one of the first places I worked. It was owned by some Italians. I did work for the mob. I did work for the mob.
Gangsta gone legit.
Exactly.
There we go. Come on, not the gangsta.
They own that whole strip plaza right there.
I'm sure I have. You
had to at least driven by it. If you were there for 3 years.
I was there, and you know I was in Mount Vernon. Is only so big.
4 square miles.
You hear me? And I loved it too. And so I was excited when they told me, or when I read that you were from Mount Vernon, because at one point I think that you helped shift this whole Mount Vernon was the new Motown from the music, the artists that was coming through there. They were saying that, like, hey, these people are shifting things too. Mm-hmm. The Heavy D's.
Exactly. Yeah. When we were coming up, they were making noise. Heavy D was doing it, but also my boy Eric McCain, who was part of the group In Touch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all graduated together. Me, Eric McCain. What's my man's name? B Smooth.
Really?
We all graduated. We were all in class. The comedian B Smooth, he was just on the Chris Rock special. We all graduated together.
JB Smooth.
JB Smooth. Yeah.
So do you know talent?
Do I know
talent? It's just comedy talent. He from Mount Vernon.
No, I didn't. Listen, I would have had no idea. I barely knew JB Smooth in high school. We just graduated together.
Oh, okay, cool.
But Eric, I did know. Eric and I were very close.
Okay, perfect.
And I was close with the Myers family. Jerry, Heavy, Portia, Tony.
Oh yeah.
And Floyd.
Okay.
And they all came out. But also for Mount Vernon was Al Brown. He was 2 years behind me. I'll be sure.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff Red.
Yeah.
P Roxy L Smooth.
You know
DJ
saying?
Eddie F.
Listen, they just keep on rolling.
It just keep coming out. And not only that, that was the music aspect. Mount Vernon is known for Denzel Washington, who came out from Mount Vernon.
Who else?
Dick Clark came from Mount Vernon.
Who else?
Art Carney came from Mount Vernon.
Who else?
We're one of the only high schools to graduate two sets of brothers that went to the NBA. Gus and Ray Williams.
Wow.
And Scooter and Rodney McCray.
So the history in Mount Vernon is, when we say money earning Mount Vernon,
it's real.
It's real.
Absolutely.
It's real. So you were brave enough to leave knowing that in New York, people, it's the concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Right.
That has been and forever will be. But you seen fit like, hey, I understand that there's movement and motion going on in ATL.
Well, no. Once again, let me keep it real.
Keep it real, because it's through thick and thin. Give us the thin.
My parents were retiring and moving to Florida.
Okay.
And for me, Florida was the home of the newlyweds or nearly dead.
Okay, you know what? Okay. That is so funny.
I'm just saying.
That is hilarious. The
newlywed or nearly dead.
Where's the lie at?
Okay.
That's good. I'm keeping that. Write that down for me. Right there.
So I was not neither one of those. I wasn't trying to go, and the land they had just Fort Myers was just becoming a little city. We were in a swamp that they were developing into homes. So I said, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So I read about Atlanta, heard about Atlanta, and decided, okay, well, I'll just go to school here in Atlanta.
Okay.
It was like a year after I graduated from high school in '84. And so I just said, okay, I'll pack my bags up, come here and go to school. I'll be close to you guys, be right next door to you guys.
I'll be right. I'm deaf. A jump, skip,
hop, skip, and a jump.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So, that's what brought me here to the city.
Yeah.
I was studying computer information systems.
Excuse me? You mean to tell me you didn't come here for music?
I did not come here for music.
Wow.
I came here to be closer to my parents and to learn about software, computer software.
Speaking of guys playing. Right? Speaking of guys playing.
Yeah, and so what happened was I was in my school, and there was a gentleman by the name of Arthur Brown.
Okay.
who was in my classes. We became fast friends, and he was a musician. He played the bass.
What did he play?
Played the bass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, one day he was like, listen, like, come check us out, rehearse. We're going to need some help. We got this big gig.
Yeah.
Opening up for Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Ooh,
at this club.
Yes.
You know this the
late
70s, early 80s.
Yes.
So they were doing that gig at this club called Mr. V's Figure Eight, which was a very popular club at that time, and we went in there, and I was moving equipment, just shifting stuff on stage, setting up microphone stands, you know what I'm saying? And I just got caught up in the whole behind the scenes. And the one thing that happened that particular night, was Sugar Ray Leonard was in the audience. Now, Sugar Ray is the Floyd Mayweather Jr. of our time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was that dynamic boxer that was kicking everybody's ass.
But he's an icon in history.
Right, exactly.
We can't go without talking about Sugar Ray Leonard. He made the way for the Mayweather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He sure did. And then, so he came by and shook my hand. I was like, oh my God, this is what being behind the scenes is about. Count me in. So
Thanks.
that from that point on,
that fire was lit up.
The fire was lit at that particular party. I was like, I've got to become more involved in this. I think I found my niche. So I dropped out of DeVry.
Yes! Come on, drop out.
I dropped out.
I love a good dropout story. Come on. Yes.
I did. I left DeVry.
Bye, DeVry.
And I went to the Art Institute.
Of course.
They had a commercial music program called Music Business Institute. So I started studying there, and that's where I met another whole line of people, like Kenneth Kidd, who introduced me to Jermaine Dupri.
Wow.
There was I met Speech from Arrested Development there. You know what I'm saying? And his partner headliner.
Yeah.
And so I was just meeting new people, moving forward. Yeah.
So one thing that I just want to give
Kim Burse. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Kim Burse. I have to say Kim Burse. I met Kim Burse there. I say Kim Burse because that name may not sound familiar to you.
Okay.
But Kim Burse, she was one of the first people that I brought on to my road crew when I was working with different bands. She came along. She was also a musician, but she came and helped me move and set up equipment and everything. But now Kim Burse is the superstar creative director, worked with Destiny's Child.
Wow.
Went on to work with solo Beyonce. Went on to work with Sierra. And she did the halftime show for Jennifer Lopez. Yeah.
Oh wow. See, and I that's crazy that you even piggyback off of her, because I want to say it's when you kind of like not shoot for the stars and overachieve. You just say, hey, this is some baseline stuff I want to just get into and wholeheartedly trust the process with that. Mm-hmm. The doors are going to open up for you, and then the elevation comes naturally.
Well, it's just like you said, like you started out. Like my whole thing was I just wanted to be a part of it.
Right. It wasn't no overthinking it. It wasn't, I'm going to do this. It was like, hey, how do I get in the door?
Exactly.
And once you let me in the door, you can't close the rest of those doors,
right?
Because what's destiny is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what you did.
And there was nowhere, because the real industry hadn't hit here yet. We had pockets of time, like with Midnight Star and some of the other old school bands that came out of here in the early 80s. And Jermaine Dupri dropped Silk Times Leather in the mid 80s. So we were having pockets of success. And then we had the popular the Jack the Rapper convention, where all the music companies, all the urban music companies would come, and all their artists would come, and they would do performances. All the radio people would come to the Jack the Rapper, and they would look at the new talent that was going to be released and everything like that. And a lot of people came to that. A lot of people
from all around the world.
From all around the world.
You know what amazes me about you? I just want to throw this out here to my listeners: the names and the timing and the timestamps that you have on things. It's so like refreshing to hear, because it's just like taking me on this journey.
Right.
And I can see it, but that lets you know that you enjoyed your journey.
Oh, I did. I most certainly did.
Yeah. You enjoyed your journey because Man, you have had some phenomenal stories then, and I mean, you're still trailblazing. You went from, hey, I'm okay with just let me pack this stuff up. I'm gonna get somebody else dope. I'm gonna bring Kim. Even though she has her gift, she's a musician.
Right.
I'm gonna include her into this what I got going on, and eventually we're going to be running our own department.
We're gonna be,
we're gonna be running departments. We're gonna be creating.
We were like the Forrest Gumps. Like, we didn't know.
Wow. Yeah.
We honestly didn't know. Like, in school, when I was going to the Art Institute, one of my teachers had the class watch The Idolmaker, which was a film made in the early 80s about a guy who was based on a true story about a guy who discovered talent back in the 50s.
Yeah.
One of the things that he did was he would go to the magazine stands. He would thumb through the fan magazines of the time. Mm-hmm. All of them had Elvis and the Beatles on the cover, and he would see what are the young kids reading about and what was missing. You can only sell magazines with Elvis and the Beatles on the cover, but for so long, it's like, what's going to be the next?
Yeah.
And that's what his mindset was. So I patterned my career after this character. I would go to the Kroger's or the CVS. I would pick up Word Up, Fan Beat, Tiger Beat, Fresh.
Yeah, Fresh.
All of those Word Up type of things. And I thumb through them and see who was on the cover and who was on the inside and why were the kids buying these magazines. And mind you, I was doing this in Mount Vernon too, because I was a big Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5 and Prince fan. Okay. And at the time they were on the covers. Now, going into the 80s, it was more about New Edition.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on, New Edition.
It was all about New Edition.
Who's
you know what I'm saying?
About to go back on tour right now.
Oh, absolutely. The Legacy Tour with Guy.
With Guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is going to be great.
They're going to create the Heartbeat Tour, the Heartbreak Tour all over again.
Yeah, and it made you smile. That's going to be a time.
Shout out to my man, Marvelous Marvin McIntyre.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I want tickets for the show, Marvin. Just letting you know.
And I'm coming with Ian, just so you know. Get 2 more from me and my husband.
So there it is. Set us up.
So you're able to make these calls and honestly, you're able to make any call in the industry, regardless of what you want to sit here and tell me. I know.
No. So
let
listen.
Let me tell you.
I gotta be truthful now. I gotta be truthful. It's not. It's not. It's not like that. I wish I could pick up the phone and say, yo, this is Ian Burke. You know what it is. Really, I shouldn't have to pick up the phone. Somebody should be calling me saying, Ian, I'm doing this and that. Yeah. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And that's the part. I'm not blaming anybody. People are doing their own things. They got their own lives that they got to live. And that's what got into me saying, okay, Ian, you're going to have to get up and do this stuff yourself.
Let's go.
If you're not going to do it, because nobody else is going to see fit to do it for you.
You're not.
You know what I'm saying?
And so people soon to forget where they come from.
Right.
And the levels they have to go to. So we were talking earlier about gatekeeping. Mm-hmm. How is the industry gatekeeping right now?
Well, right now, it's a whole lot easier now than it was back then.
Okay. And what's the difference you can tell?
Well, we had to... and it's good and bad.
Okay.
Like, when I had talent, I had to take it to labels or to people who were associated with labels in order to get the talent on. Yeah. We didn't have to have records, though. We didn't have to have likes. We didn't have to have followers.
Algorithms.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, either you're talented or you're not. Okay. And talented wasn't just singing and rapping. Talent was anything. If you could walk into a room and hold somebody's attention, that was a talent within itself.
Damn, I'd have been known. I'd have been known.
See, and that's, you see what I'm saying? As long as you could walk in and command that presence, be like, okay, yo, Kellz is here. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because now it's not enough to just be who is that? Because everybody is like, ding.
No, not just that. There's like, let me check CMA and follow what she got.
Yeah, and that's so unfortunate because regardless to how times have changed far as social media, following does not equate to talent.
No, it doesn't dictate that at all. Not at all.
It doesn't. And so someone can go viral on a TikTok song where they did probably 30 seconds of a song, and then now you have labels or people giving them these deals, and they're going super platinum viral $2 million contracts, and our kids are like thinking that this is the way it goes.
This is the way to go. Yeah.
And it's not. And
Nicki Minaj said it best. Nicki Minaj said it's more of a popularity contest than talent. It's about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at the times that we're in now. But I do miss the times that we were in back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How was the gatekeeping then, though?
I mean, it was just the standard thing. Let's go ahead and let's get this talent out there. I was fortunate enough because, you know, I was finding real talent. Like when I put together TLC.
Okay, so I didn't want to. I was gonna go there. I was just waiting on you. I'm talking about TLC, Escape, Crisscross. Right, I mean, you got so many. Like the groups and experiences. Right. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I stand out.
No, and it's all good.
I fanned out and you're here. Okay, big deal.
No, you know, like you putting together. If I go back to my story about going through fan magazines and New Edition being on the cover, BBD, Belle Biv DeVoe was one of my favorite groups back then. It was like, yo, they were doing something amazing with music.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, it'd be great if a female group did this. And I thought at the time that they were trying to do the same thing with their background dancers because they had female background dancers. I was like, yo, let me try to do this myself. And, you know, I had this young lady named Crystal Jones that I was already working with. Mm-hmm. And a gentleman by the name of Rico Wade, who was 1/3 of the Platinum Plus production crew Organized Noise.
Okay.
He introduced me to Lisa Left Eye Lopez and Tion T-Boz Watkins, and I was able to put the three of them together and create a group called Second Nature. That's what I call them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And where did that name come from?
You know what? I was having a conversation with them about rehearsal, and I was telling them, y'all are going to do this until it becomes second nature to you.
Okay, I get it.
And then I was like, Second Nature. And Lisa, who was my creative genius, she came up with the logo for Second Nature, gave me the logo for it. It was like fabulous. And that's what they were known as. That's what they were known as. Now, Pebbles came, the group caught their attention, caught her attention. The concept caught her attention as well, and wanted to meet with them. And, you know, long story short, she bought the concept out for me. She bought them out of their contract, and she took them to LaFace. Okay. Now, and see, this is the thing. Like, my contacts and connections at that particular time was very limited. Yeah. I couldn't walk. I didn't know L.A. Reid at the time. Okay. I couldn't walk into any place and just be like, hey, this is what I do. I couldn't do it because I was here. One of the things that I tell everybody coming up, because I like doing these type of things, these podcasts or talking educationally, I didn't have any mentors. I had to learn on my own, step by step, and I made a lot of mistakes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But from there, my mistakes were life lessons. I had to get myself up, dust myself off, and just keep on moving.
So now when you see young artists or young A&Rs, do you try to, if you see something in them, do you try to mentor them? Is that something that you kind of like are big on now because you didn't have that, or do you wait for those people to come to you?
No, I mean, you know, if I see somebody with potential, I invite them to come along. So a lot of these people though are so set in their ways. These young folks, they just feel like, yo, I have all the answers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I understand you know a lot more about this technological era than I do. That's for certain. But there's some old school ways that I could teach you that could give you an edge, an advantage over just watching numbers and algorithms.
So you know what I'm saying? That I, as an entertainer, obviously, you know, I'm a comedian, an actress, a host. It was a hard transition. And Through Thick and Thin kind of was born from that when we thought about Through the Thick and Thin of transitioning from stage to the internet.
Right.
I did find it hard because I had older comedian mentors who were like, hey, no, just stick with the comedy because the internet is going to crumble one day. So I love that I do the internet. I love being viral on the internet, but I also know that by having those mentors that told me to make sure I'm solid in knowing the fundamentals of it. Right. What comedy really, where this internet stuff came from, I'm able, if the internet ever shut down, And people that go to live comedy, baby. We right back. I'm back up.
And you're ready to go. And that's the thing. They feel like that it'll never end. But I'm just like, guys, y'all better pay attention. Where's MySpace? Huh? What? Who? What? What's MySpace? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my producers say that all the time. Yeah, just one day you wake up and that thing is suddenly gone.
It's gone now. All the people who had, I have 1 million plus followers on MySpace. What does that mean for you right now?
Zero.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that both worlds can live together and actually work for each other. Like if you're only thinking one way though, I think you're limiting yourself. Like I had to learn the benefits of social media. I'm not one to I do it now because I have things that I'm promoting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't like having to let me post up this picture and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll get a few likes. Sometimes I get a lot of likes. Sometimes, people will look at my stuff and be like, wow, this is great. And sometimes people will just pass my stuff on too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, that's just part of it. But, I come down on certain folks that want to be in this business. Like, there's no way that a man my age, and I'm 57, going to be 58 this year, should have 10,000 behind. See, I need to cut the beard off. This has got to come on.
No, actually, that's the new thing. I just want to put it out there and keep the beard. It's the mingly gray. You got to keep it.
What was I saying? So, I shouldn't have, I've got almost 11,000 followers on there, because I try my best to keep people's attention, through my content. And with that, I do my best to promote the people who I'm working with, or the brands I'm working with, the names that I'm working with, through my social media.
Well, let's be very clear. I'm almost 110% that the Ian Burke today, if he would have had the technology, or the Ian Burke then, if he would have had the technology today, no doubt in my mind that there would have be some solid, way more solid things that's going on, because the game is changing. And unfortunately, some of the music that is being put out and things like that, I know it's hard for you to kind of take that. I know it's hard for you to take it in.
Absolutely, it's hard. But that is another thing that social media helps. I'll tell you another story. You said it. Like, I got tons of stories.
Yes, I'm good. I'm glad.
So I was representing this young artist named Shang, and she was signed to an independent label. A producer friend of mine, Kate Class, did a record on her. And she was like, hey, you know what? I know a rapper. I'm familiar with a rapper. She didn't know him, but she's like, yeah, I think so-and-so would be great on this record. And they played me the stuff. Now, once again, I'm an older person. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, this is crap.
This ain't it.
This ain't it. But my thing is that I'm not in tune to what the kids are listening to now. So what I have to do is go back. I went to his Instagram and I saw number one who was co-signing him. So he was in pictures with, who was co-signing him. Then I watched a clip of him performing at some sort of white campus, and everybody knew the lyrics of his record.
There we go. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, well, this isn't meant for me, but this will certainly help her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And her quest.
Yeah.
And it turns out that person was about to be on the freshman class, on the cover of the freshman class for XXL that hadn't come out yet. So he came, but the producer happened to go by one of our lovely club establishments, one of our gentleman clubs, and ran into the person, and they were like, yo, he told him that we were interested in having him come and be on the record. Yeah. And we got him for, I'm not going to name what we got him for, but we got him for an astronomically super price. Yeah, yeah. Thank God, before the cover came out. Before the cover,
yeah. Because yesterday's price is not
today's prices.
And that's the bottom line.
You know what I'm saying? But let's just say that was a lesson learned. Yeah. That was a lesson learned. And this is now he's one of the top rappers in the game today.
So how long did it take you to get to that point? Because I'm sure as you have been developing artists and things like that, you usually tend to walk into a room or hear something like that could be it. But have you ever had to see an artist that you kind of passed on, or you didn't see that thing in them, and then eventually they kind of like had a rise to the top?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you got any of those stories?
Let me see. I don't know what's the. That very easy. Very easy. It was somebody that I was working with. I can tell you Bobby Valentino, Bobby V.
Slow down.
Exactly. Now I signed Bobby when he was part of Mister. I signed him to Elektra Records.
Okay.
We had the song Blackberry Molasses.
Yep. Which I listened to because I was like filling this whole interview out.
Well, there it is. You did your homework.
I'll be ready for my homework. Okay, go
ahead. And in my opinion, and Bobby knows this, I didn't feel like Bobby was the best singer. He was a great singer, but I didn't feel he was the best singer in the group. I actually felt that someone else was a better singer. And I thought that person would go on to have better success as a solo artist. But what I didn't count on was the fact that Bobby was very tenacious and very driven. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's where I slept.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is what he wanted to do. He made it his mission to be successful. And you know, I didn't see it at the time. Next thing I know, he's getting gold albums and seeing him on, you know, features and stuff like that. It's like, wow. Like, all I can say is, you know what, Dad, you proved me wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm very proud of you. We're still very cool to this day.
Yeah.
You know, but that is one artist that I definitely, and somebody that I had in my hands that I definitely slept on, you know.
From leaving Mount Vernon to now, do you have a different way that you view talent, or the way you even approach certain projects that you will work on, or people that you work on? Because we live in the era where numbers, and all those things, numbers, algorithm, followers, statistics,
all those things matter.
Those matter before anybody even give you $1. They don't even care if you talented. If you can put those asses in seats, you know, did that change the way that you view talent, or are you still sticking by if you know your normal?
No, I still stick to my normal routine. It's like,
and
you
that's
know
what, and what is that? When
that's when somebody can come in and just thoroughly impress me. Like, I have a young lady named Olivia Blue who's just an incredible singer-songwriter. She's working on her confidence and performing live in front of people.
Shout out to Olivia Blue.
But she is amazing songwriter, singer. She's young. She's been that way since she was like in her teens. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't have a whole lot of followers and stuff like that, but she's working on her social media, and people are starting to take note, because every time you know, she goes out and does something, her fan base, you know, grows. But it's another opportunity. I'm just looking for opportunities now, aside from doing stuff on the internet, where I could place her to help blow her up. So I did this TV show with my brother and a partner of mine, Dion Kubas, called The Aquatics.
Okay.
You know, so
tell me about it.
It's a scripted story about young teens learning ocean conservation.
Okay.
All right. Uh-huh. So they're learning how to scuba dive, the whole nine.
Yeah.
And it's you know, sort of based on some factual things, because my brother, who is a former Navy salvage diver, you know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
You know, this was his mission, to teach wayward children how to scuba dive, and then teach them coral restoration and ocean conservation.
Okay.
So he wanted to turn it into some sort of story, and so he came to his brother, who was into entertainment, and I helped craft it. Yeah, exactly. Myself and a group of individuals got together. We crafted, you know, a couple of different versions of the story. We shot it. And in the latest episodes that we shot, I included Olivia Blue as a performer.
Perfect.
On the series.
Perfect.
You understand what I'm saying?
Perfect. So, definitely.
Giving her that appearance is like, okay, now, you know, when the series gets picked up, you know, they will definitely see you. People
Who is that?
Right.
Who is that girl?
Exactly.
So you have that opportunity to do that now. So this podcast is one of those things that I really have to sit back and ask myself. When I think of artists, and I think of entertainers or entrepreneurs or executives and what we do, it hasn't always been this. Mm-hmm. What has been your most struggling task, like, as you were going along this? Because we saying a 30-year journey, but I guess it is 30, because 84. I was born in 84.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because you left in 84, so we're at a years.
Yeah. It's to be 39 coming this October.
And I say that with so much respect and honor and like, dude, that's so notable. And people can't do stuff for 38 days. It takes 21 days to change a habit, and you can't get people to change a habit.
Right.
So for you to be in this, it hasn't always been highs. What has been some of those lows when you was like, you know what? This is it.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
Give me one that you you wouldn't even believe this. You wouldn't believe this shit, Kelly.
Oh, wow.
You wouldn't believe this shit, Kelly.
I gotta dig because, I try to, it's one of those things where, I got fired from every job I had in the industry.
I love it.
My first real job.
Left school and got fired because you rebel.
Exactly.
Rebel.
I felt like I hit a glass ceiling. My first job was running the hip hop department over at Ichiban Records.
Okay.
One of my first artists that I worked with while I was at Ichiban and I helped break was MC Breed. Ain't no future in your frontin'.
Ain't no future in your frontin'.
Right, exactly. From Flint, Michigan.
Was this on? Go ahead. Come on, man.
that was one of my first, and I worked there for about a year.
Okay.
And before the owner was like, look, man, we love you, but, you're not the same as when you first came up in here. Gotta let you go. When I went to work for...
What the hell does that mean?
Well, the drive, and when you start, coming in late and the drive is the same. You're not doing... Yeah, exactly. Your swagger is just messing stuff up for you. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to us.
No, that's what it is.
It's happening to this day, okay?
And, so when you get that, you're like, oh, my God, what am I going to do now? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, wow. A couple of times I had to go out there and get regular jobs, like at FedEx and, get up early in the morning, move boxes and stuff like that. And it was torture. And I got hired by Sylvia Rohn and Merlin Bob over at Elektra Records.
Yeah.
And I sat down again after 2 years. I sat down and said, look, your entrepreneurial spirit is a little bit too much for what we're trying to do here. It's like, you got things that you want to do. So, yeah, we're going to have to let you go.
And you go and do them.
Go do them.
No, wait. I'm sorry. What is it?
And I'm like, there's like, oh, damn, I'm right back at this. So I've been, in spots where it's like, okay, is it me? What do I need to do? Like, what's going on? But it's always been growth for me.
Absolutely.
It's been growth. It's been a subject. It's been a thing to help me grow. Let me put it that way. And, even as recent, I've worked with Icon Studios now.
Let's go, Icon Studios. Somebody said when you over there at Icon, just know it's some money.
Right.
It's a whole lot of money in this month. That's all right. Shout out to Icon Studios.
Right, yeah.
Y'all got the one and only Ian Burke. Y'all they knew what they were doing.
Well. I left there too at the end of the last year.
Oh my God. Okay.
I left there too. You know what? I was there for 13 years. It's the longest industry job that I've had managing the studio.
Good job for you.
13 years off and on at Icon Studios. Okay. I'm still very close to the owner, Tasha Stafford, and her husband, Stone Stafford, and but I felt like I was stagnated there.
Absolutely.
And then I was once again just getting lazy, and not putting forth my best effort. So I put myself in a position where now I went over and started working over with Patchwork. Patchwork designed a program where I could come in and consult their clients about the industry and whether it's film, music, publishing, production, whatever.
Go ahead and give it. Run it down. What you say? Yeah, all that. All that. And we're not gonna play it like it's lightly. I think that is God just really could no certain thing could keep you like contained, right? So, and sometimes you probably have to just like pipe down. So God, like, okay, let me show you again that I'm still a God that's in control.
Right.
Because here you are working on new projects. Like, what's your new project you got going on? Because it's so much stuff you got.
Well, listen, I just got word on Saturday that my TV show or our TV show, The Aquatics, that has not been picked up yet, was selected for a film festival in St. Petersburg, Florida, the Sunscreen Film Festival. Not only was it selected for the festival, It's nominated for the best new TV series. You know what I'm saying? Award.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, wow. And there's nothing, let me tell you, there's nothing like looking over an agenda or a schedule of films, independent films, and seeing your work, listed as one of the films being screened at 8:15 on a Saturday night, April 29th, I think.
Wow.
It's an amazing feeling. And I'm also working on a docuseries as well, about my life in the music business in the early years.
Yeah, perfect.
And basically just telling my story because I was fortunate enough to be around in different camps, over at LaFaze, over at Social Def, over at Organized Noise Production, over at Rowdy. I was fortunate enough to be in these different cliques and see different things happen.
So is this going to be a tell-all? Is it going to be like juicy? Are we going to hear some stories like, oh shit? Or we're going to be like, what's the...
Maybe a little bit of both.
Because I want to get we don't want no dirt. Like, I don't like messy, but I like to hear like the tea. I don't want it messy, but give me some...
Oh, yeah, no. You're going to get some tea, but I'm not going to be... It's not going to be a messy drama.
Yeah, so we don't no messy, nah.
4-part docuseries, wow. And once again, I have to be truthful about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And, I feel people need to know my truth about it. And that's what I want to do.
I think that even you speaking your truth, a lot of people will be able to develop more, because even listening to you, even from the beginning part of this interview, when you told me just the commitment of as simple as turning over an album and reading who was a part of it, those are the small things that people are not doing, and that's the business side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of us get caught up in wanting the fame and don't want to have to go ahead and put in that work. So your work is going to speak for itself. Of course, you have a 4-part docuseries coming out. Of course, you're here to tell the story, and no one has to give your story for you. And over this 39-year span, let's be very clear. Over this 39-year span, you've changed people's lives. Even when people were just, because I don't want all my followers to know that you were the person that people literally, and still to this day, would have been at Lenox Mall, because that's where you found Crisscross, right?
Well, no.
They wouldn't follow you in the mall. What?
No. Let's get that cleared up now. I did not discover Crisscross.
You didn't find them in the mall?
No, Jermaine Dupri found them in the mall.
Oh, okay.
I was affiliated with Jermaine Dupri.
Okay,
and I helped him. I thought
you was getting a slice of pizza.
Oh, no. Jermaine was out there shopping, spending some of his Silk Times leather money.
Yeah.
And he found these young men in the mall. And what he did was, it was a favor for a favor. I needed music for my group Second Nature.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he was like, okay, he saw the package that I did for Second Nature, and he's like, if you can help me put something together like that for my boys, I'll do the music. Well, one hand washes the other. And that's the basis of Jermaine Dupri's and my relationship.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
This day?
To this day.
Perfect.
To this day. Like, I'll get a lot of people are quick to say, well, why aren't you working with Jermaine? Why, this, that, and the third. It's like, y'all don't understand what Jermaine does for me. Like, every chance he gets, he stands on a pedestal. And when he talks about the history of the Atlanta music scene, he always brings my name up, always, without fault. And I thank him for that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I thank him for that. Now, he went on the Soul Train Awards, and without talking to me or nothing, like, he just said, in his opening speech, he was getting ready to honor Escape. And he said, a friend of mine named Ian Burke. Now, he didn't have to say that.
He didn't.
He could have just said, a friend of mine brought a group over, or, somebody introduced me. He purposely said, a friend of mine named Ian Burke brought these girls to me.
You know why? Because there's a young Ian Burke who is not necessarily reading the back of a cover album, but he's watching.
He's paying attention.
And he's paying attention. He's going to Google that name, and he's going to find you, because that's the world we live in, and that's what you deserve. And that's the reason why you work so hard, because our work is just always being full circle. We reap what we sow.
Right.
And when you sow into fertile ground, you can't wait but to get an amazing harvest. And that's exactly what you're doing now, right?
And that's what's being done. And Jermaine Dupree is helping me do that.
I love it. So groups, and I know this honestly, I want to say this. It's amazing, like interviewing you. It's easy, breezy. I feel like I can put a girl group together. I'm feeling very inspired. I don't know why right now. No, I don't know why I want to drop some bars. But the group thing right now in the industry, there's not a lot of groups. Groups are not the thing right now. Right. And what is that? What happened? Where was the shift?
Because everybody like, well, I don't want the group money. I want to do my own thing and make all the money, and people are losing out on the fact that that's what's needed right now.
I remember obviously the Migos was the last group that was like a big rap group, but I can't think of any African American groups that have been like charting for us.
Well, the City Girls made a little noise.
Oh, the City Girls, they are a group, but JT was in jail so long. JT, baby girl was like that so long, I forgot it was. So JT out. Yeah, but it's not common. It's not common. I guess you don't want to split that money.
No, you don't. Nobody wants to split that money. But what folks don't understand is that somebody's waiting for that next dynamic group to come, and you don't have to stay. No group, stays. There's always somebody in a group that breaks off, that uses a group as a launching pad. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? Beyonce did it. Diana Ross did it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Lionel Richie did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's Michael Jackson, and the list goes on and on. Like
Janet.
Well, Janet wasn't in the group, but she's always been solo.
I thought she was just a Jackson. She wasn't a Jackson. Okay, but we love Janet. Okay.
We love Janet.
She broke off from the family. And listen, I'm gonna throw some stuff out there. You gotta catch it.
I got you.
You gotta pick up what I'm putting down. If you could put a group together, would it be a male group or a female group?
Either or.
Either or.
I love the dynamics because two of my more successful projects, of course, were female groups.
Okay.
That was TLC and Escape.
I love
you know
them
what
both.
I'm saying? So I love the dynamic of a female group, and I love. Anytime I would get a female group, I would make them sing male songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And do that because in my opinion, Escape back in the day was out singing a lot of male groups at the time. Like they could really throw down, and all I had to do was say sing, and they would get right into it, completely a cappella. With flawless harmonies. They would just kill it. They would just kill it. And so there's something about the female dynamic that I love. But boy, if I could put together another male group, I'd take the best of Boys to Men and mix it with NSYNC and then cram it all together. And
then that's a slam dunk.
A slam dunk.
Oh, that is amazing. So listen, I can't help you with that. But if you ever want to tap into the industry of, you already in film. If you ever need an amazing actress, a comedian, a host, whatever, I'm your girl. I sound really, really good in the shower. I'm talking about I sing.
And I bet you your husband appreciates that. Baby, hit that note for me. Hit that note for me in the shower.
Depends if it's a night shower or morning. The point I'm making is I am inspired. I am inspired for your energy. I'm inspired for just how humble it is to even be around you, because even somebody with your resume could be a little bit more like, but the energy that you bring into this room, and even though people speak your name and praises, I am extremely proud that I was able to interview you. I need the people to know, all my followers, because listen, they're going to follow you. They're going to flood you. They're going to go crazy.
Okay.
Because that's what we do. Okay? I have to check them real quick. Yo, that's what we do. You need to let them know your social media.
Right.
Let them know what you got coming up. How can we support? And yeah, what's up? What's the new thing?
Well, I tell everybody my Instagram tag is Ian F. Burke, IANFBURKE. Okay. And I also offer there's a link in my bio. If you click on it, you could get a free 15-minute consultation call with me.
I'm about to click that. Oh,
yeah. Oh, you got to click it.
I gotta click the link.
Well, you got all the knowledge.
I got all this.
You know, you got like $500.
I may go click the link just to call. But hey,
just to, hey, give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more.
I'm not feeling the best today. Please motivate me.
So yeah, I do that for the people I do. You know, I give them free 15 minutes, and you can have a conversation with me and talk about, you know, what you got going on. And if you want to go further, you know, I do all of my consultations out of Patchwork Studios, and folks can call up to the studio and schedule an hour with me.
Yeah.
You know, now there is a fee. It's not for free.
It's not for free.
It's a fee.
It's a fee, but it's an investment.
It's an investment. It's
not a fee. It's an investment.
Absolutely.
If we change the wording, it'll hit different.
You're right.
A fee
absolutely.
sounds like, I don't want to pay that fee, but to invest in yourself.
I agree. I'm changing. I'm making it official right now. There's an investment that needs to be made in yourself.
Come on, somebody.
And once you make that investment, we can sit down and have this conversation. I will give you all of me, as much as I can give, and, you know, help you along your way.
Yeah, I love it.